This is going to be a pretty short list of books that I do not want to read by Stephen King. Most of his books I am pretty indifferent to, but these kind of just stood out just because I read the premise and I've heard some things about them, pretty spoiler free, and I just don't think they're for me. But hey, if you want to maybe change my mind in the comments below, I'd love to hear your opinion, and if you like these books, yeah, I'd love to talk about it. So yeah, let's get into this. So with Cujo, the whole rabies thing just hits too hard for me. It's too close to home. Um, that's really the only reason why I won't be reading this story, is just because I could never, like, think about it happening to one of my animals, especially, like, Bear, my dog. And it's honestly just too sad for me. And for some people that may sound immature, but, you know, I consume a lot of media that has pretty strong themes. I love, like, psychological thrillers. It's pretty much my main movie category that I watch, and TV show, but this is just too much for me, and yeah, I think I'm just gonna pass. So with it, to be very short, I think I've just consumed enough of the story. I mean, I've seen all the movies, I have seen lots of things pertaining to it, and I don't mean to be that person that, you know, just won't read the book, but it is a very long book, and I don't think that the story grips me personally enough to dedicate that much time to that big of a book. So yeah, I don't think I would ever read it. And also I've heard that there's some pretty, well, it might have been edited out, but pretty intense scenes in the book. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I don't think I'll be reaching for it. I actually own the Tommyknockers, and this is the copy that I own. I found it at Goodwill, and it's actually really cool because it only has a very short list on the inside of books that Stephen King has written, so it is kind of more of an original, like, true to publication date copy, which I think is really cool. I did start reading it, and I didn't read the back, and I mentioned in a previous video why I think it's just, it can spoil too much from my experience with Stephen King books, and I started reading it. I thought it was interesting. It was written in, I believe, third person, which is kind of hit or miss with me on Stephen King books. I prefer his first person writing. However, I thought The Shining was done very, very well. But yeah, and then I got into it a little more and realized it was kind of about, like, I don't know, gnomes or something like that, and it just kind of wasn't for me. So if you've watched my previous videos, I don't think I need to say anything. I kind of have a vendetta against the Mr. Mercedes / Bill Hodges trilogy, and I won't be reading them, and I just can't stand them. But I will say that Holly has very pretty cover art. So that brings us to Fairy Tale, and this is a more recent release of Stephen King's, and I actually did watch a review of this book, and I didn't like, because I just knew that I wasn't really interested in it. I don't know. I don't know. I really can't tell you why. If I'm being 100%, I heard some things about it, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then I watched the review, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, no, thank you. So I honestly don't remember much from the review, but I remember enough to know how I felt about it, and it's just not for me. I'm sorry, but yeah. So there you guys go. That was my pretty short list of Stephen King books that I do not care to read, and if you actually like these books and can offer me some, you know, commentary on what you thought about them, or if I should read them and I'm just being pretty naive about them, I'm always open to that conversation. Yeah, let me know what you think down below, and thanks for watching.